Hey everyone, today is Wednesday, March 17th. The time is 2:03 p.m. and the temperature right now is 7 degrees Celsius. That was Rosedale Station I just started from, and I have turned south onto Yonge Street. And the plan for this one is to head south to Bloor Street East, and then I'll ride east over the Bloor Viaduct to Broadview Avenue, and then I'll head south down to Queen. Then I'll find my way over to Shooter Street, and I'll head west over to Yonge. I'm not really sure how long this will take. Probably a little over 30 minutes or so. And it's a relatively nice day, a bit windy, but it's better than the last few days for sure. And this is the Masonic Temple on the right. And if you were to turn right here, you'd be on Davenport Road, and to the left is Church Street. I did a fair bit of walking yesterday, so I thought I'd give my feet a bit of a rest and head out for a bike ride today. I'll be trying to do 1 or 2 rides a week from here on in. So there's the Toronto Reference Library on the left, and that's Yorkville Avenue on the right. And that'll take you in through the Yorkville neighborhood. I suppose I could have just cut through Rosedale and came out to Bloor Street around Castle Frank or Sherbourne, but I thought I'd stick mostly to the main roads for this one. There is no left turns here, so I'll have to hopefully hit a scramble crossing, and I can slowly make my way through the intersection with that, or I could just cross with the pedestrians. And we've got a scramble. Okay, and now I'm on Bloor Street East, heading east on the south side. And we've got this nice wide bike lane to work with. And the bike lane continues all the way across Danforth Avenue, which Bloor Street becomes once you get over the Bloor Viaduct, all the way to Dawes Road, which is just short of Scarborough. Unfortunately, it's my experience that this stretch of Bloor often has vehicles parked in the bike lane. Here is Church. I could have turned left at Church and I would have came out here as well. Nice move by this SUV. I don't think that's how it works, buddy. Toronto drivers are often anxious to enter intersections without any regard as to whether or not they can get through it before the traffic cycle ends or not. Well, most drivers are pretty good. It's just rather common to see vehicles straggling in the middle of an intersection. We saw that at Yonge and Bloor a few minutes back as well. And it looks like there's some construction to contend with coming up ahead here. Just gave a wave to that car for letting me over. And here is Sherbourne Street. So that would be the Rosedale neighborhood to the left and the Rosedale Ravine. And running alongside that is Rosedale Valley Road, which is a rather nice bike ride. I'll have to head down there pretty soon. Hopefully they fire up the active TO program along Bayview again. And I can connect to that by taking Rosedale Valley Road. I did that last year, and it was one of the more favorite bike rides of mine that I recorded last year. Although sadly, I've heard that Active TO is not going to be on Lakeshore West. And that seemed to be the most popular route for it. And Lakeshore is plenty wide, so they could easily just close half of it. So I'm not really understanding why they chose to close or not open it on Lakeshore. Active TO is when the city closes certain portions of major routes during the weekend to allow for increased physical activity such as cycling, and jogging and that sort of thing. It lets families get out and safely exercise throughout the city and keep their distance. That was Parliament Street I just went by. And on the left is Castle Frank subway station. Seems my camera keeps sliding a bit to the right. Perhaps I need to tighten this mount I'm using. It's one of those things, I like it to be perfectly centered with the handlebars. But that's a lot easier said than done. If you notice a lot of the cycling videos where they use this type of mount, it's usually a little bit off center. There's the Rosedale Heights Secondary School on the right. That's an arts high school. And there's a rather neat hidden staircase in the back that'll lead you down to the ravine and at the foot of, or not the foot of, but at Bayview Avenue. And this here is the Bloor Street Viaduct. And this will lead me out of downtown and into Riverdale. And I could continue on straight onto Danforth Avenue and head through Greektown. I'll be turning right at Broadview. There's a whole lot of crap in this bike lane. For some reason I have my keys in my front pocket, so I'm kind of just instinctually checking to make sure they're still there. Normally I put all my stuff in my backpack. So you got to be careful with vehicles turning right here, heading down to the Don Valley Parkway. Find a nice safe place to merge over to the bike lane on the left. I think that's why there's multiple lanes there for you to come over to the bike lane. So straight ahead is Greektown. I think it officially starts once you get to Chester. And I will be turning right onto Broadview. If you watch my live streams, you're certainly familiar with Broadview. That was a Loblaw supermarket on the right. I said was, but it still is. So this would be considered Riverdale. And just up here on the right is Riverdale Park East. And maybe I'll stop for a second and take in that view of the skyline for a second. Thank you. I didn't really have room to go much more to the left there with the streetcar tracks. So here's probably the most popular tobogganing run in the city. There's a pretty big hill just on the right here. I'll stay on the bike, but I'll try to angle the camera towards the skyline. On the other side of the Don Valley Parkway, that's the highway. At the bottom of the park is Riverdale Park West. And that is in the Cabbagetown neighborhood. Here comes the 504B King streetcar up to Broadview Station. I'm on door alert right now. And this will take me into East Chinatown. And Bridgepoint Healthcare will be on the right. That replaced the old Riverdale Hospital. And the Don Jail is on the right. That's now an admin office for Bridgepoint. Bridgepoint Active Healthcare is the official name. And here is Girard and Broadview. I don't think I'm going to make this light. There's a whole parade of parked vehicles up on the right there. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a Chinese archway just to the right. This isn't the main Chinatown in Toronto. The main one would be at Spadina and Dundas. But this is one of two Chinatowns in the city of Toronto proper. But there is a rather large Chinese population in the suburbs around Markham and Richmond Hill and parts of Mississauga. So once spring hits, I'll start doing some more residential and scenic areas. But until then, I'll probably just stick to these more major streets. So here is Dundas Street East. And the streetcar is turning right here. So hopefully this SUV stays back. And it is 2:21 p.m. So now it's down into South Riverdale. When I get to the Broadview Hotel, I'll turn right onto Queen. And then I'll turn another right at the Toronto Humane Society and head up river to Shooter Street. And then I'll head west to Yonge. Then maybe I'll just ride north for a block up to Dundas Square. I'll probably take a peek at the camera just to make sure I got this footage correctly. And if I did, I'll just go home and edit it. So here's the Broadview Hotel on the right. Formerly Jilly's. It was an adult entertainment parlor, I guess you could say. So when I recorded my bike ride, don't know what that commotion was about, along King Street last week, I came through this part in the opposite direction. This is the old Queen Street Viaduct up ahead. And once I cross this, I'll be back in downtown. Kind of a hazy bluish gray sky today. That's the Don Valley Parkway and Don River I just went over. And this streetcar is turning left onto the beginnings of King Street. And King Street will also terminate at Queen Street to the west. It runs parallel to Queen across the downtown core and into Parkdale. And then it bends back north and comes to an end right at Queen Street. So this will take me up to Shooter, and then I'll be in the Regent Park neighborhood. I could carry on straight all the way to Cabbagetown. There's no traffic behind me, fortunately. So that's the Regent Park Athletic Center on the right. I did a walk through here about a month ago. And that's a neighborhood that's undergoing a rather significant revitalization. All of the original public housing is being demolished and replaced with market rate condos, as well as newer but smaller public housing units. This is Nelson Mandela Park Public School on the right. I think that's what it's called. Couldn't lift my head up to read the sign. So I'll just be riding across the entire length of Shooter here. This is the east side of downtown. And here is Parliament, and on the left is Moss Park. Or rather, the Moss Park neighborhood. Those are the Moss Park apartments. Looks like I need to do the CJ Hoyle trick of taking a ball of tinfoil and getting it a little wet and going over my handlebars here to get off of to get those rust marks off. I did that last year, but after spending the winter completely exposed on my balcony, my bike has developed some new rust marks. I used to have a cover for it, but it got so filthy one year and it ripped. So I just threw it out and didn't bother again. So this is Sherbourne, just to the south of here. It's one of the more notorious intersections. on the east side in downtown at Sherbourne and Queen, and just to the north is another one at Sherbourne and Dundas. And Moss Park itself is on the left, followed soon by the Moss Park Armory. It's nice to hear the constant sound of birds chirping. Feels like forever since we've had that. And this is Shooter and Jarvis. Looks like someone unloaded a bunch of birdseed onto the bike lane there. And here is church. And on the right is St. Michael's Catholic Cathedral Basilica, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm quite famous for butchering the names of various religious institutions when I record these videos. I think I butchered the name of a Jewish community center on the walk I recorded yesterday quite badly. And this is St. Mike's Hospital. On the left is the entrance to the emergency room. Whoa! I was anticipating that the whole way, but yeah, we gotta be safe. That guy in the minivan was telling me that lady was crazy and that he almost had an incident with her earlier. Hey, it's Singing Man. Ken Continuum posted a video of just him doing his thing. And this is Yonge and Dundas up ahead, so I'm just going to hop into Dundas Square here and call it a day. There's someone feeding the pigeons. I'm going to sit down and take a look at my footage. And if all is well, I will head home and edit it and give myself a break for the rest of the day, maybe. So I hope you enjoyed this bike ride along Bloor, down Broadview, and over on Shooter. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. There are links to my Instagram in the description, along with my Patreon account if you wish to support the channel. And you can also check out YouTube channel membership. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next one.